All right, let's get into it. Today, we're not just talking about another workout, we're talking about a gauntlet. This is the ultimate challenge, a plan designed to forge some serious power and size in your arms. So buckle up, because the challenge starts right now.
So first things first, a simple question for you. Are you really ready for this? If you're not in your head yes, then you are in exactly the right place. This is your new roadmap.
Okay, so before we even dream of picking up a heavy weight, we have to lay the groundwork. We have to talk about the foundation. And in lifting, that means the warm-up. Seriously, don't skip this. It's not just some box to check. It is absolutely the key to performing at your best and, more importantly, staying injury-free.
And look, this doesn't have to be complicated. We're talking 5 minutes. That's it. We're going to start with some simple joint rotations for your elbows and shoulders, just to get everything moving smoothly. Then, grab a light resistance band. We're doing 2 quick sets of 20 reps of curls, then 20 reps of pushdowns. The goal here is simple. It's all about pumping some blood into the muscle and basically sending a signal to your arms that says, hey, wake up, the real work is coming.
Okay, warm-up's done. Now we step into the ring for the first real battle, building that awesome biceps peak. This is where the intensity really starts to ramp up.
Now pay close attention to this, because this idea is the secret sauce for the entire workout. It's not about how fast you can throw the weight up. The magic, the actual muscle-building stimulus, happens when you control the weight on the way down. That slow negative movement is what creates the microscopic tears in the muscle that force it to repair and grow back bigger and stronger. This is the real key.
So let's put that into practice. We're kicking things off with the king of all bicep exercises, the barbell curl. For every single rep of these 4 sets, I want you to focus on that slow, controlled descent. Then we're moving on to alternating dumbbell curls. Now the key here is a hard, powerful squeeze at the top of the movement. You want to feel that bicep contract as hard as you can. That's how you build that mind-muscle connection, making sure the muscle itself is doing all the work.
All right, so we've hit the peak of the bicep, but what about width? You know, that thick, 3-dimensional look that makes your arms really pop? For that, we need a secret weapon.
And here it is, the brachialis. This is a muscle that literally sits right underneath your biceps. So think about it. When you train the brachialis and make it grow, it physically pushes your biceps peak up and out. This is the real game changer for making your arms look way thicker and wider than they actually are.
So how do we hit this secret muscle? With hammer curls. That neutral, palms facing in grip is perfect for targeting the brachialis. And then we're going to deliver the final blow to the biceps with concentration curls. And notice what it says here, to failure. That means you do perfect reps until you physically cannot do one more. Forget about the number. Just focus on that deep burn in the muscle until it has absolutely nothing left to give.
Okay, biceps are toast. But believe it or not, we're just getting started. Now we move on to the real giant of the arm, the triceps. If you want truly big arms, this is where that size comes from.
I just want you to look at this number for a second. 2/3. That's not a typo. The triceps muscle makes up a full 2/3 of the mass of your upper arm. So if you've been neglecting your triceps, well, you've been missing out on the biggest source of arm growth. It's that simple.
So we start big with a pure mass builder, the close grip bench press. This lets us use some heavy weight to build that raw power and size. Then we're going to move over to the cables to sculpt and define with pushdowns. For these, the absolute key is to lock out your elbow at the bottom of every single rep. I mean, fully extend and squeeze those triceps as hard as you possibly can.
Next up, we have the French press, or what some people call skull crushers. This one is so critical because it puts a great stretch on the long head of the triceps. That's the biggest part of the muscle, the part that gives you that thick, hanging look from the back and side. And to finish it all off, a true test of grit, dibs. 2 sets to absolute failure. And hey, if your body weight starts to feel easy, you better believe you should be adding some weight.
Okay, if you've made it this far, congratulations, the main workout is done. But for those of you who still have a little something left in the tank, for the truly brave, there is one last optional challenge.
And here it is, a nasty little superset designed to flood your arms with blood. You're going to do 15 reps of cable curls, and then, with 0 rest, you immediately turn around and do 15 reps of cable pushdowns. Your only break is just 30 seconds after the pushdowns, and then you go right back into it. Trust me, after 3 rounds of this, you will have a muscle pump you won't soon forget.
So, you survived. The weights are back on the rack. But listen to me, this is important. The real battle, the part that actually builds the muscle you want, That all starts right now, after the workout is over.
Let's talk about a detail that a lot of people just get wrong: your rest time between sets. That sweet spot is right around 60 to 90 seconds. Why? Well, it's just enough time to get your strength back for the next heavy set, but it's short enough to keep the intensity high and the muscles under constant tension. It's the perfect balance.
And, at the end of the day, it really all boils down to these 3 golden rules. First, no cheating. Don't use momentum, make the target muscle do 100% of the work. Second, squeeze every single rep. That mind-muscle connection is everything. And third, and this might be the most important rule of all, you have to fuel your body and get enough sleep. They aren't optional. They are absolutely non-negotiable.
I want this idea to stick with you. The time you spend in the gym, that's just the demolition phase. You're just breaking the muscle down. The real work, the actual building and growth, that happens later, when you're eating your meals and when you're sleeping. So there you have it. The plan is laid out, the gauntlet has been thrown down, the demolition work is done. The only real question left is, what are you going to do now, tonight, tomorrow, to make sure all that hard work actually turns into real, measurable growth? The ball's in your court.